Welcome to the Texas Conflict Coach radio program. If you have ever experienced or engaged in destructive or unresolved conflict, then you know it leads to broken relationships, distrust, and damaging results. Our program will help you manage and resolve conflict effectively with strategies, valuable resources, and support. I am your host, Patty Porter. My guest hosts, Zena Zameta and Stephen Kotev, along with our guest experts, will share our experiences, raise your awareness, and give you food for thought. We will share with you problem-solving strategies no matter what your situation is. At work, with neighbors or friends, family, and as partners. Tune in or join in the conversation every Tuesday evening.
Listeners, thank you for joining us. We conclude our series, Conflict Resolution Cyber Style, with our episode on online dispute resolution, the simple way to build peace in the digital era. Listeners, we all encounter conflict and dispute, nothing new. What is new is how we can engage in a peaceful and meaningful way using our computers and the internet to engage with the business, vendor, or organization we are in disagreement with. We refer to this process as online dispute resolution, or ODR. Dr. Alberto Elisavetsky work in the field of online dispute resolution grows every day, hour, and minute across the web and around the world. Dr. Alberto Elisavetsky is the founder and director of the social network Online Dispute Resolution Latin America, and also the founder and CEO of SimDR, an online mediation simulation project. As a champion of online dispute resolution, Alberto will share with us the ins and outs of conflict resolution online in Latin America, as well as the benefits of using the online conflict resolution resources available. I am your guest host, Tracy Colbreth. Tonight, I invite you to join us on our Twitter using hashtag ConflictChat. You can post comments or questions at Texas Conflict Coach and at Elisavetsky using Twitter. I would like to welcome Alberto to the program.
Hello.
Alberto, welcome.
Okay. Hi, Tracy. Thank you very much for inviting me to join you in your program and to the Texas Conflict Coach radio show.
Welcome. We are excited to have you tonight. Can you tell us, Alberto, how did you get started with online dispute resolution in Latin America?
Well, it's a funny story. I just started in the kitchen of my house because something around 12 years ago, I was surfing the net and I realized that some people in the U.S. were dealing with new technologies and conflict resolution. And I walk into my kitchen, I told my wife, you know, she's a very huge mediator in Latin America. And I told her, you know, there are some guys in the U.S. saying that it's possible mediate not face-to-face, but online. And of course, she told me that I was absolutely crazy. But, you know, after 12 years, she believes that online dispute resolution could be a good path, a good way to try to build a peace in the digital era.
That's wonderful, and it's great how you can hear about something somewhere else and take it in and bring it home and share that with your wife and have her, you know, laugh it off. And here you are now. You're this huge online dispute resolution guru, and you have so much information to share with us, and it's just wonderful that how you started was you heard the idea and you took it and you ran with it.
Well, at least I started nearby. And at that time, I asked my boss at the university if he allows me to create a virtual online dispute resolution service because we were working in conflict resolution, but face-to-face. And the day that the university said to me, no, you are not allowed because this is crazy, I posted my first blog in my web blog. After 12 years, I have a network of 4,000 members through all Latin America and Spain. And it's basically, it's an issue of push and push and push. And when nobody believes in you, you have to continue pushing. That's the issue, basically.
Right.
And,
you have to keep going, and eventually you'll get to where you're trying to go, regardless of what other people are saying. It's that perseverance that got you to that place.
And basically, I believe in we can use in a positive way new technology. It's in the way to build a bridge. You know, Latin America, most of our countries are developing countries, and all the news, all the new technology issues are coming from north to south. And because of the globalization, we are receiving very, very quickly the improvements in technology. And I was working from 7 years with the Center of New Technology Applied to Conflict Resolution at the Massachusetts University, E-MARC, under the direction of Professor Ethan Cash, and I one of the fellows, and I running the Latin American chapter for this organization. And basically, we are working in all the, let's say, in a panorama action from consumer issues to divorce or to social issues regarding picketers, strikes. Let's say online dispute resolution is not a panacea, but it's a way to facilitate solve conflicts in different aspects of our common life.
So online dispute resolution is a way to resolve conflicts that we happen to have in our everyday lives. We're just using technology, the technology that is often available to us, whether it's at home or at a library or at school. We're using that technology to not only learn and grow in our professions or in our lives and stay connected, we're also using that technology for online dispute resolution.
I think that that is a very important issue to take into account. For example, let's say in worldwide, the total amount of inhabitants in the world is something, let's say, near sooner to 8 billion inhabitants, and but just 30% of the world population has internet access, but 85% of the worldwide population has access to cell phones. Then, in the near future, ODR, online dispute resolution, will be handled by cell phones. And we are talking about ODR mobile conflict resolution, which will be a very, very cheap way to help consumers, families, society, government, taxpayers, in order to at least reduce the timing. For example, in a family situation where when let's say the father abducted one of his sons and goes to other country, online mediations allows the family perhaps to let's say restart communication and probably get an agreement in order to allow the mother or the father to start talking again with his son, with his child. That's a very helpful tool in order to provide simple, better, and cost-effective communication to the people. And on the other hand, for example, governments with the taxpayers, they have perhaps a problem, and they could allow the taxpayer or the citizen not to walk into the building, if not resolve his problem with the city hall, let's say, through internet or through a cell phone, okay? And in the case of consumer issues, we are working with a cross-border platform in order to expedite the conflict in 7 days, perhaps. Because today, if you are a consumer and if you ring to a call center, you get a machine saying, please, your call is very important for us. Press 1, you have a problem. Press 2, if you have a different problem. Press 4, press 5, press 7, press 8, and you get bored. With an online dispute resolution platform, you have an immediate access to an area where you can just put a mark on the kind of problem that you have, which are already prepared, and someone in the customer service of the company will immediately, over the platform, tell you if you are right, wrong, will apologize. We are talking about the e-apology, which is the apology from a huge commercial center through internet to the customer in a proactive action. Instead of a reactive action, trying to get out of the complaint, you have the possibility with ODR to have a proactive action, trying to tell the customer, I'm here, I'm with you, it's easy to reach me, and in 7 days, we will solve your complaint.
So one of the key benefits of online dispute resolution is it's proactive instead of reactive. Instead of being placed in a queue when you have an issue, you have that immediate response and that e-apology. So you're getting that email recognition, apologizing for whatever issue you're currently experiencing, and you're having some resolution to the issues instead of just being in a queue and trying to get a hold of somebody. It's more instant when you're using online dispute resolution. What might be some challenges, Alberto, for the everyday consumer in using the internet that they need to be aware of?
Yeah, the problem, let's say there is a war which we are working today with the digital integration between the consumer and a web page. You know, because sometimes when you are in front of a web page, there are too many fields to fill in, okay? You forget your name, your age, the CAPTCHA number. Sometimes you can read it. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, Q in capital letter. And when you have the feeling that you finish, you have to start again because you jump one space. We are working in Latin America in 2 areas. When one of them is to reduce the digital gap, okay? Because you in the world, you have 2 kinds of people. You have the digital immigrants like me. When I was born in my house, we didn't have phone at home, okay? And and talking about my grandson, for example, he's not able to understand how it's possible to live without a cell phone, okay? But and he doesn't understand if it is necessary, you know, to move the page in a book instead of just trying to click a link in a book, you know. And this problem is when you are a company and you have customers, you have to realize first that you have your universe of customers divided in digital immigrants and digital natives, okay? Let's say under 35, over 35. And you have to facilitate the access to buy some stuff through internet or through a cell phone, let's say, or through a computer or tablet. And you also have to facilitate the action to place a complaint. You know why? Because you are a very nice person? No, because if you solve in a quick way the complaint of your customer, this customer will be buying and buying again. Basically, the ODR applied to e-commerce, for example, it's not a matter of being just nice with your customer. If a customer has a problem, has a complaint, and you solve immediately, you improve the loyalty, okay, of this customer to your brand. in ODR regarding consumer issues is more a marketing tool than a peace construction, okay? And also because the amounts involved in e-commerce are not too big, it doesn't make any sense as a person in a customer service call center accepting a phone call, using, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes to discuss about a pen bought in China, which arrived broken to, let's say, Brazil. There are no, let's say, economic scale.
So
I don't know if I'm more or less explaining.
You did. So some of the challenges that a consumer may experience when they're trying to use online dispute resolution is that learning curve of there's that generation that grew up with technology and computers and iPads and cell phones and Kindles, and there's also consumers who aren't familiar with using computers and the ones that need a little help, and they need to be able to use these services in a very user-friendly way. So some of the challenges with using online dispute resolution is the user-friendliness of it all, that ability for anyone, regardless of their background on technology, to be able to use the software without having a lot of difficulties.
Yeah. Tracy, the word in this case is digital ergonomics, okay? We are working in facilitate the relationship between a person and a computer, a tablet, a cell phone. And we are working on a daily basis trying to convert those devices in a friendly user situation. But it's a matter of design. Also, it's a big challenge transfer or convert a paper into a digital form, because this is the task. You as a e-commerce website, or maybe as a government, a local government, you have to understand that you should request the minimum information you needed, not just because you are there and you have a guy in the other extreme of the internet connection, you start requesting information that you will never read it, you will never process, and just, taking time of the person. That's why all those ergonomic issues are a very, very important, let's say, portion of our activity. Let's say in Latin America, facing areas where you have native people from generations living out of internet connection, but perhaps having a cell phone through a satellite, those issues should be solved. It's, let's say, there are no a global or worldwide receipt. We call it glocal. Glocal, it's a mix between global and local, which is global is a general knowledge, and local is the requirement. For example, perhaps in the U.S., it's not the same that happen to a customer in Anchorage with a customer in Omaha. Okay, perhaps they have different requirements, different necessities, and also they have different possibilities to link to internet or to a website, perhaps. Okay.
Right. I'd like to go ahead and take a moment, Alberto, and just remind our listeners that they are listening to the Texas Conflict Coach Blog Talk Radio program, and we are speaking with Alberto Elisavetsky, founder and CEO of SimDR, an online mediation and simulation project. Alberto, what resources are available to our listeners to resolve conflicts online?
Okay. Perhaps worldwide you have more than 200 websites from different countries, a different approach to resolve conflict online. We in Latin America are working with a worldwide platform The name is Justice. Justice is a platform multilingual, okay? Then if you are a customer in Argentina where we speak Spanish and you have a complaint with Brazil where they speak Portuguese, the customer could fill in the form locally in Argentina in Spanish, and the vendor will receive the information in Portuguese. He's able to answer in Portuguese, and I, as a customer, will receive the proposal or the answer to my complaint in Spanish. This is a global, worldwide, multilingual platform. There are other platforms. The most important one, sorry.
Okay, so Justice is used to resolve disputes consumers may have with a business. It handles shopping issues and things along those lines. And that's a resource that people can use globally.
Yeah, this is, there are 4 areas in Justice. E-commerce, hotels, transportation, car rental, and gambling. Okay, you have 4 different areas of customer complaints. You access to a different spaces inside the platform.
Wonderful. So Justice is very broad. It can cover 4 different areas that a consumer may have a dispute in. So that's something that anyone may be able to utilize down the road if they're thinking about trying online dispute resolution. And what is that website, Alberto? The Justice website
is www.
Okay.
It's Y like Justice, like Joe, Y, Oscar, Ursula, Solomon, Thomas, Israel, Common, Ernest, Justice.com.
Okay, so it's www.youstice.com.
Yeah, you could ask you could go inside this website and find if your establishment, your vendor has the system, and you just go through the system. This is regarding consumer issues, okay? There are other platforms regarding, for example, family issues, okay? And we, through CMediar, we provide service in, let's say, commercial issues or divorce. But in this case, it's not an automatic platform. We work in basically on a video conference system with a real mediator online during the process. And we are able to mediate between parties located in different provinces, in different states, in different countries.
So CMDR resolves interpersonal disputes between parties. And can you give us an example of a scenario where CMDR would be useful for our listeners?
For example, in case of a divorce, when the party has to discuss the, let's say, the money involved in the divorce, okay? Or, for example, the money that the father will give to their kids that's still living with the mother. All matters that we usually perform in a face-to-face divorce, we handle it through our video conference mediation rooms, okay? Online mediation room, real time, okay? But CMediar was born just as a simulation project in order to train mediators to become cyber mediator. But when we start with this training program at the university, we found that there was a lot of people interested and request the C-Mediar service for real-life cases. Then all the mediators that we train in this way, that we switch them to mediate online in real time. The training is very important because it's not the same if you have one lady crying in front of you and at 1 meter, that if you have someone crying through a webcam, okay? Your abilities as mediators should be increased when you are a civil mediator compared with a face-to-face mediator. That's also under the umbrella, the online mediation. It's also under the umbrella of the ODR, of the online dispute resolution.
So SIMDR, essentially, instead of being face-to-face in a room with the other party, you're in an online mediation room. So everyone is through video. And that can actually create a sense of safety if the parties may be uncomfortable being in the same room together. They're not using SIMDR. They don't have to be.
This is one of the biggest benefits. Also, if you allow me, Tracy, to tell you this, I will speak a little bit something which is not specifically ODR, but it's very important, and we use new technology, which is in the case of domestic violence. As you just said just now, it's in the case when you have perhaps a problem with in the couple, and the lady doesn't want to sit down in the same room with his husband, even though if they are in the same city, we use video conferencing tools. Because probably they have to discuss about money, but there is some restriction regarding some physical offense. This is not mediation, because the domestic violence it couldn't be handled by mediation because it's an offense, okay? It's a legal issue. But we are running a pilot project in one of our areas, testing if we are collaborating with reduce the violence or avoid the violence or solve some problems in this family, if we are using video conferencing and sitting the parties, even though they are in the same city, through a webcam.
So although domestic violence is not mediated, the SIMDR program allows parties who have experienced domestic violence to be able to have a conversation regarding legal matters that need to move forward.
Yeah, at least to reconstruct their communication, because in mediation, even though it is face-to-face or online, the key issue is the communication. The function of the mediator, basically, is to rebuild the communication between the parties. Even though if the mediation, if there are no settlement, there are no agreement, if you allow parties to start communicating again, perhaps in 2-3 months, they will solve their dispute because the communication channels are reopened. In the case of domestic violence, it's not a mediation, but we work in order to reestablish communication.
And that's important to note that SIMDR, although they do not use mediation, the key point of SIMDR with domestic violence is to reestablish the communication between both parties in a very safe way.
Exactly. Because perhaps the husband has a restriction to walk near to the house. Okay, perhaps he has a 300-meter restrictions, but they still have a problem regarding money, the school of the kids, etc., etc. Okay, this is an opportunity, this is a window, this is a space to speak without having fear one person to the other in the same room.
Right.
Perhaps
Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for sharing that with us, Alberto. What we like to do is give our listeners an assignment of the week. We learned today about different resources that are available in regards to resolving online conflicts, Eustace, MDR, ODR in Latin America. So what is your assignment or call to action for the listeners who are on the call tonight joining us?
I think that the assignment is, a lot of people is reluctant to use new technology but I ask my students, for example, how many times you study, okay? Primary school, high school, university, perhaps you spent 20 years studying. How many times you assign to understand and learn new technology? Perhaps 2 days, 3 days. If you use part of the time to let's say 1 month, 2 months, as a personal homework, to go and understand and be taught about new technology, like you start driving a car, you will have the possibility to take benefit of all those tools that the war and the 21st century give it to us. This is the assignment. Mm-hmm. Go and reduce your digital breach and the digital gap, okay?
Yes, the assignment for our listeners is to reduce that digital gap and become familiar with all the different avenues that you can use technology for online dispute resolution, whether it be your phone, your iPad, your Kindle, whatever electronic devices you have at your disposal, to go out and reduce your digital gap, to get a deeper knowledge and understanding of the technology that's out there and available.
You summarize excellent.
Wonderful. Is there any contact information or any links that you can provide listeners, whether it's a video simulation or we did go ahead and discuss Eustace, so that website?
You already give it the Eustace webpage. Eustace also is in YouTube. There are videos under the Eustace caption, and also ODR Latinoamerica. In ODRLatinoamerica.com, you have more than 300 videos, all for free, regarding, let's say, the relationship between new technology applied to conflict resolution. It's a full library, free.
Okay. Wonderful. So listeners can go to eustace.com or ODRLatinaamerica.com.
Yeah. They have to become a member. They have to become a member. That's free. There are no charge. And when we accept it, he's allowed to go to all our material, which is in English and in Spanish.
And they have videos at their disposal once they become a member.
They have
and the
more
membership
than
is
300
free.
videos and a lot of boring conference from me.
Wonderful. And lastly, okay. Alberto, thank you so much for being a part of the program tonight. This has been such a great conversation, letting us know what's going on in Latin America, and also providing us with some homework and some websites so we can reduce our digital gap and be more comfortable with the technology that we use every day, just not in an online dispute resolution way. So what final message do you want to leave with listeners tonight?
That if every day we work a little bit, try to build in peace in the digital area, in spite of we are going through a tremendous moment through the world. But I think that we keep communicated, we could help this peace that instead of being a dream should be a real situation in spite of what's going on in different places in the world. That my message is a peace message, basically, with technology or without technology, Tracy.
Great. Thank you so much, Alberto.
Well, thank you, and the Texas Conflict
Thank
Coach.
you for listening to the Texas Conflict Coach. We hope you enjoyed the program. You can find all of our podcasts archived to listen at your convenience at texasconflictcoach.com. conflictcoach.com or download the podcast at iTunes or Stitcher Radio. You can also become a Facebook fan of Conflict Connections or Twitter me at TX Conflict Coach.